What's the deal, my people? You know it is a Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another one, the first one of this series, and that is Spartacus, the House of Ashur. And we're going to be talking about theories and stuff going forth, and hopefully there's some people in here that could join us. And as always, you can call me up on the hotline and let me know what you think about this series. Now, this is the Don by himself. I'm used to rocking by myself, but it's better when Phil's around. But I don't know if Phil's watching this show, so most likely the Don's got to run it by himself here and everything. But hopefully we get enough people up in here, because we do get enough people up in here. Then I will contact these actors and I will get these actors on the show. And then you could call up and ask those actors a question. You could do that but I will not do that unless I get enough viewers watching live, because I don't want them to come in here and see 10, 15 people. I got to get at least 50 or so. If I get like 50 to 100 people, then we will have them come on here and answer some of your questions. In fact, I have been in contact with two of the actors from the show who have agreed already to come on this program and talk to us, but I have not worked out the details. I have to see how it goes, and that's the way it is. You know what I mean? I'm sorry about that, but I got to see how it goes and stuff. I don't want to come on here and ain't no one to talk to and stuff like that. But let me say what up. The people who are joining us right now and talking about this show. We got, let's see, Ken FO 25 in the building. Rock with my man TNX is in the building as always, rocking with the Don Tony Teflon. We got Chicago, man. We're gonna just say Chi-Town, baby. Chi-Town Gaming and Media is in the building, rocking with us right now. Dragon King is up in here rocking with us. Peter Griffin is in the building rocking with us. Miss J Reviews is in here rocking with us. Arsenal is in here rocking with us right now. We're talking about this show. Listen, it is hard to do a spinoff show. And I know that Don's tint is in and out and all this craziness. It's because the yellow shirt messes with the camera and everything else, and it makes it all look all crazy. But I ain't got time to go change my shirt right now. I thought about doing it right before I came on and stuff when I seen it and getting everything straight. But I just said, fuck it, let's just roll with it right now and everything. Viper is in the building rocking with us right now and everything else and all that good stuff. But yeah, when you do a spinoff show, especially a spinoff show like this, right? We know the guy died already. And now we have to be convinced in this show that this is a parody. This is an alternate timeline. And we have to be convinced that this actual alternate timeline is something that we would want to see. And will it be believable? And I would say so far, so good. So far, so good. It is believable in the way that they have done it, that this will be, that it's that he's come back to life or he's in a different dimension. I don't know exactly how they're playing it. As always, Thug Mug is in hand. But it is believable on the sense of that, right? So we could buy into everything. We know that the events of Spartacus all happened, and that's the way it played out, and that's what it is. So we're not looking at it like that, but we're having fun with this as it is. Jackie C is in the building, rocking with us right now. I haven't seen you in a little while and everything else. That is what up. Oh, I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. You know what I mean? We're going to keep this content coming for you. We're going to keep on doing it and everything else. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. Again, the number is on the bottom. If you want to call me up, it's 518-290-0848 is the number. So it is believable, and I think that they have done it well, right? So far, so good. I mean, they're over halfway through the season, and if they're really going to screw it up, I think we would have already seen that. But I buy into it. I buy into everything that we have seen so far. I buy into all of the newness that they got, because they could have had him come back, and he has all these gladiators and everything else and all that stuff. You know what I mean? And he could have came back. He could have had all these gladiators and stuff, and he could have had top gladiators, but they decided to say no. He starting all the way from the bottom. All of his gladiators suck. They stink. He can kick all their asses. And we know he was the lowest of all the gladiators in the thing. So he's terrible, but he's able to beat these guys with ease. So I like the way he did this. And then they want to introduce Achillia. Achillia is a real gladiatrix, right? There was a gladiatrix named Achillia in real life and stuff, and you can look up. There's a tomb of her that they have a little sculpture that they made that they found of her and another gladiatrix. So it is showing the beginning of how these gladiatrixes came into being. Yes, there were female gladiators at a certain point in the gladiator thing, but this is showing how it came back. And Phil is here, but he says, "Hey, not watch the show, didn't get the channel, unfortunately, but I wanted to wish everyone a happy new year and show Tony some supporters and that I'm covering it means awesome." Listen, man, you know you can always have my subscription and everything. I do believe that it's the same password as the other one. So if you have, you should know it already, and you can go right on there and add it, and then watch it, and then get up in here. I would appreciate it. Truly would appreciate it. It'd be cool. You know what I mean? So it's always better with you rocking with me. So we have that aspect of it, but what I like about this show and what they have done so far that is so good is that they have not focused that much on the gladiator stuff. Have they showed too much male frontal shit? 100%. All right. 100%. I haven't seen so many prosthetic penises in my life, and I don't want to see any more of them. All right. I don't want to see them. I mean, I'm sure all these actors who get to wear these things and somehow people believe that that's really what it is, that they, listen, they're going to shock some women, all right, because they pick up some women and these women are thinking that this is the way it's rolling for these cats. In the end, they're going to find out that that shit ain't like that. Ain't no Dirk Diggler in this motherfucker, all right? ain't no John Holmes running around this motherfucker right now. You know what I'm saying? They're very disappointed. But I did think it was funny what in the last episode when Caesar's woman came out there and had to call Ashur out on his lack of size, shall we say. He's probably the same size as all them guys without the prosthetics. 1 second. All right, this thing is driving me crazy, this color thing. So I'm going to change my shirt real quick, and I'm going to come right back. All right, don't leave me. All right, don't leave me. I'll be right back. I promise. All right. I'm back. I'm back. All right. Hopefully that's better. All right. I'm back. See, it was the color of the shirt, as I told you. Sorry about that, but this was the color of the shirt. Yellow just fucks up the camera. All right. So where the fuck was I? Listen to Jackie C, as she says, like and sub. We truly appreciate it here. All right. So, yeah, I like the fact that they did not focus mostly on all of the combat. In fact, when I look back at Spartacus, the original series, and I see the flaws in that series, and number one flaw to me was everything was rushed. They had this motherfucker go from shit, getting his ass kicked by everybody in there. I'm talking about Spartacus, to beating the Orcales in what, episode 6? Beating the Orcales? This guy that's supposed to be so unbeatable, and they beat him that early? Like, that should have been something that happened at the end of the season if you were going to do it, but really should not have happened at all. And I like the fact that they switched that whole thing up. They could have did that bullshit with Achilles, but they didn't do it with her. They have her struggle. They don't have her get good. It's already episode 7 popping up, and she is not that good of a gladiator. She's all right. She's got heart, she's got desire, and she's got a will to live. And that is what really separates her from these other people. And listen, the guy got cocky. That's why he got caught, and that's why he got the knife up his ass. You know what I mean? When it was all said and done. But I like the way that they did that. They could have went the other way, and hopefully they learned from what was going on in that. Hopefully they learned and they said, hey, all right, what did we did wrong in the original Spartacus? And to me, y'all could put in the chat what you thought they did wrong. Now, it could have been that they knew the guy was sick and they didn't know what was going to go on, and that's why they did it. I don't know. Maybe that was the case, and if that's the case, then it's a little bit more understandable. But I do think that they rushed that whole situation and rushed everything. You know what I mean? That is what it is. All right, let's go. There are some questions here. Is there 2 strings going on? So it's not 2 streams. It's the same stream. That they do one stream, and for people on phones, and then they do one stream. It's set up for people watching on the long version on your phone. There's another stream if you're watching on your television, your laptop, and all that. So you just have to pick the right one for whatever view angle you would like to see it in, and everything. That's what it is. Let's see. Tony, do you think Vinia is playing Ashur? I think she's a rebel, a Spartacus spy. Do you really think she's a Spartacus spy, a rebel? I did not think that would be the case with her, that she would be a Spartacus spy. So I don't think she's playing him. I mean, there's only a couple of women here who right now that they see that have the guile of the men in here when it comes to this politics stuff. But that's the point I was going to bring up in a second, that instead of focusing on all of the battles and stuff, they have focused more on the backstory, or more on the underhandedness, the Game of Thronesiest thing that's going on there, right? So I like that much better, that they're doing that better. I'd rather see that conniving stuff going on in the background more than the actual gladiator fights, because the gladiator fights should be built up. It should be built up so that when they get in there, it means something, not something that we see every week. And if we see it every week, then it just gets numbing. You know what I mean? And I think that was one of the things that messed up when they did the spinoff series, was every other second you just seen the swords going, and blood just splattering across the screen. You don't need to see that. It takes the weight. That's why when Operator died, it meant something. It meant something when he died, because when he died at this particular time, not many people have been getting killed, and especially the way that they had taken him out. Now, I put out a video today, and I put the question out there: did Ashur know about this? Did he manipulate this whole situation for Operator to get killed and get taken out in there? I knew something had to happen, because they got Graham McTavish, right? Of course, as listed as one of the main actors of the show. So I knew they just can't get rid of him if he's listed as one of the main actors on the show. He has to be there for the whole season, I would think, when it's all said and done, if he's on that top billing with everyone else. So he wasn't just going to get up there and just leave and go off into the sunset. And again, we can look and see, we can see how it goes in this show. with love. And when there's any type of love for anybody in this show, it always gets ruined. There's no one who has a happily ever after, ever. Not one person has gotten with somebody and has been happily ever after with that person. That never happens in this show. In fact, love is the death of you. Love is what causes everything to root. With Crixus, it was the death of him because he loved that chick so much. That's what threw him off, and that's what made him eventually die in the end, because if he didn't care about her or anything else and he just kept fucking the Dominus wife and he was doing that, everything would have been fine. But no, he fell in love and he fucked up everything, and that would have been it, because he didn't want her to get married off to Ashur or anybody else, because he had too many feelings for her. Right? And we see the same thing going on here with this dude. I know I am terrible with these motherfuckers' names. All right, I am. But listen, man, it's gonna take me the whole season to get all these names right, because this is not regular nameage here. This is nothing that I hear with my Queens, New York access every day. This is not Ken or John or Peter. All right, these names is fucking impossible. They don't got no goddamn names like this at all. So it takes me a second with these crazy ass names that they got. But the father and son duo, I'm talking about the son, and him going off and him just pulling this lady because he cares about her away from this Roman because he didn't want the Roman to sleep. That's coming back to bite him in the ass. That was a stupid decision. You have to start looking at these situations and not caring about it, right? Because listen, in the modern world today, Tarkin, right? And Cliff, thank you very much. Techlius, people say Techlius, Tarkin. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In the modern day world, right now, there are wives who are on OnlyFans, taking dildos up the buttocks. In the modern day, there are wives today who are strippers, do sex work all the time, and have taken it every different way in every hole they got twice. And they go home to their families, to the people who love them, like it never happened. Right now, I'm not saying I would do that, but I'm saying, so you should be a little bit more, well, if this guy, it's not like this guy's going to please her. This guy's going to do a job. She jump on top of him, make him bust real quick, and she's coming back to you. But you're going to put your life on the line by interrupting this thing because you didn't want him to have your woman at that time. You don't think someone else is going to have her? She going to get had. That's the position she's in. And that is not an excuse to do what the fuck you're doing. All right, you're just putting yourself out there, and it's stupid. You know, that is the way that these people die every time. And it's always got something to do with love and affection. And you know this how? How do I know this? Because I see them. And I know a couple of people. Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I knew some pimps in my life. You know what I mean? I knew people that pimp women back in the days, and I knew, and I had some friends that were women of mine that were strippers that would ask me and my friends when they had jobs to go with them and protect them and stuff. So I went there and did that for them. So I know this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's some Queens, New York. This is what it was. You're correct. Love it. We got a goddamn phone call. Let's take it. This is 910.
Call from
Montreal 211.
What's going on? You're rocking with the Don Tony Teflon, baby.
Tony, how's it going? It's Montreal.
What's going on, man? Joe, how are you, brother?
Doing well. How about yourself, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Happy New Year's. Haven't heard your voice in a long time, bro. It's good to hear you.
Yeah, good to see you back online, man. Doing content.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Just trying, man. I'm trying.
I heard that. Yeah, so this show here, I like the original Spartacus show.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it. I watched that show from beginning to end a few times, not just a couple.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked it. And this one, I'm liking this one as well. Like, for real. I think they're doing a good job so far. I was wondering how they're going to bring Ashur back. And they answered that, like, in the first 3 minutes of the show. I was like, oh, okay, I guess we got to suspend disbelief. This better be good. And it is, in my opinion.
I agree with you. I think they did a good job explaining it and putting it out there so that you know that this is just a what-if situation and how this thing played out, and it has nothing to do with the original series.
Right. It's its own separate thing. Yeah. This last one, I saw your video earlier,
mm-hmm.
and regarding this one, for the first time, I think Ashur doesn't really have anything to do with this one. At least I'm hoping he doesn't, because if he does, his Victoria is going to come back and have his head. It would be stupid because he had too much to gain by letting it go.
He did, but they made a point of saying that he would be mad if he left and that he would track them down and do harm to them if he left. And he didn't take the deal what initially offered. He said, I had to think about it. So it wasn't like it was a deal that was too good for him to refuse. He did say, I have to think about it. Then he met with the senator. And then after that meeting is when he decided at that time, all right, I can do this deal.
That's the part I didn't get with him. Like, what was his angle there? Like, the guy's offering you everything he has. I mean, common sense would dictate that you just take that. With no strings attached, all he wants is the guy in exchange for everything he's got so he can leave. Mm-hmm. Okay. I would think, and that's the one that's the part that's got me kind of wondering too. What was that all about? What was the delay about?
Because you would have to think that he would know, that Ashur would know that if he bragged about that to this guy, that this guy would have these little men go out there and kill him, because he just seen those little guys, that he uses them as his little hit squad and stuff, and that he would have them go out there. So it's either the hubris on Ashur, just bragging, and his big mouth got him in trouble again. We've seen that already happen with Caesar, so it wouldn't be out of the box that he did it. Or he knew exactly what he was doing, hoping that this would be the results.
But again, why? Like, why have the guy killed? You know what I mean? Well, here it is. It just hit me while I'm thinking about it. Okay, he was a conspirator with the Roman who comes in and just, kind of takes over his villa.
Mm-hmm.
He was a conspirator to have those thugs come out and attack those women, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that makes him a loose end. He does. I think he doesn't want that information to get out to that girl because he's falling for her, even though his slave girl, she's clearly in love with him. I think that's going to come back to bite him in the ass when he talks about marrying that highborn chick.
Yep.
That's a clear setup for that. However, I think that he doesn't want that information to get out, that was a whole setup. It was set up for Ashur and his guy to save their lives.
Yeah.
He doesn't want that to get out.
I think,
and so because of that, I think that's why why you're saying it. Yes, it just hit me.
That's a good reason to knock him off because of that. Because if it got back and they said that Caesar had something to do with it, Caesar would just deny it, and it would just be put the blame on this dude, and everyone would just believe him that this is what it is, right? So 100% that could be a definite reason. Now, did he sign a contract with this dude? With this I can't think of his name all of a sudden. Did he sign a contract with this dude before he died to take over his stuff?
There you go. That's the thing. Because who else knows about that deal?
Yeah, because if he already signed the contract to take all this stuff, he gets his stuff whether the dude is dead or not. And once the dude died, he already got the contract, so he getting that shit anyway, and he getting his Del Toro back. Del Toro.
Yeah, and even if the Romans come and take House Spartacus away from him, he still has that villa.
Yeah, he can just bounce to that villa and be like, I'm out. Y'all can have this place. This could be the house of Caesar, and I'm going over here now. And y'all have this place, and I'll take this over here. Or he could use that and say, listen, Cornelia, I know that this place is beneath your standards. Why don't you go over to my new villa that I have over here, and you can just have that whole thing? It's better than what I have right now, and push her over there.
Right. So there are. I wasn't thinking about it at first. It just didn't make any sense for him to do that until now. You got me thinking about it.
Well, that's
Yeah, there is a reason.
That's why we do these live streams, man. So we can just keep kicking these ideas around and try to figure this thing out.
For sure. I didn't know how I was going to feel about the woman gladiator. I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, I don't know about that. What are we doing here? You know. However, the way it's just like you said, the way they're building it up, she's not some super awesome gladiator. You know, yet she struggles every single day. You know, even when she had her gladiatorial fight, she was losing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had her. You know, and then I even laughed when the sword went up his ass. You know,
he ran his mouth about fucking her. And
yeah, he did.
And he got what he ran his mouth about. You know, it's the same thing, you know, with Oberyn when he fought the mountain, right? He got too cocky, man.
Yep.
You got too cocky and you got dropped. And when you're dealing with a situation like this, which life or death, it can happen to you quick, and it happens to you real fast. And that's exactly where it happened to this dude.
Exactly. Like, I mean, you know a little bit about my history, but I was in the army during GWAT, and 90% of my time in the army was in combat. You know, and you're absolutely right about that. You're dealing with life or death. You do not take chances. You don't gloat. You don't rub their noses in it. You just go ahead and do the job and get done with it. Celebrate later.
That's
you know, your enemy doesn't need to know that you're celebrating. They know that they lost. They're not here anymore. You know, but you're absolutely right. And it was heartbreaking when I read that in the book about, you know, Oberyn and the Mountains fight, because I really liked Oberyn, and then to see it in the show, still then, man, I was like, Oberyn.
Yeah, cocky, and
you know,
looking up at his girls, winking. Listen, you don't get cocky, man. You don't get cocky in these situations. You do the job and you get out, and then you brag about it afterwards. You know what I mean? And that's where it's not. And that was his problem, and that's why he got bagged up, and that's why, you know. And as for, listen, I know there's a lot of people in Hollywood, and listen, I'm not this big woke guy or woke battle thing. I don't like to even deal with that situation, right? So I know that when people first seen it, they said, "Oh, they're putting a black woman in here, and why would there be a black woman in here?" They were black women gladiators. They were female gladiators, gladiatrix, as they call them, right? So all those things are historically accurate, and it's a brand new character, and that's what it is. So it all fits. It's not just throwing somebody in there for the sake of diversity, which is something I don't believe people should do. You should put someone in a spot that fits the spot because they fit the spot, and that's it. And she fits this spot.
Absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly with that. I'm not a super woke guy either, and I feel the same. I have the same feelings about this as you do. You know, that's why I told you when I saw the trailer, at first I was like, okay, what are we doing? Where are we going with this? You know, but I'm going to give this show a shot anyway. And I agree with you. She fits the mold. You know, I like the way they're building the character up, and she has this big traumatic backstory that I was itching to get to, and they finally got to it. You finally get to see what happened to her in her past.
Yeah, and
why she's so depressed.
And why wouldn't you be if you were in that situation with her when you killed your own daughter?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? When you tried to save your daughter and then you killed her, that you know what that would traumatize you forever. Forever.
Exactly.
And it clearly traumatized her and holds her back, and she has every right to be that way because of it. And, you know, I knew it was going to happen. Once I seen him grab him the way he was holding her in the front, I knew I'd seen it coming to mind. I said, she's going to throw the spear right through both of them.
Yeah.
And they're both going to get
it. Yeah, I did. So did I, man. It was just, it was one of those things. I was kind of like, you know, balling my fists up and like, here it comes. I see where it's going. And yup, it happened. You know, and it happened. And I was like, that would do it. That would do it. Like you said, to anybody.
100%.
You know, and I agree, she has every right to be the way that she is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the execution of the show really does, you know, snuff out any preconceived notions of anything being woke or girl boss or anything like that. Everything here fits. And you're right, there were female gladiators.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she's Nubian, that fits as well.
Yep.
That fits as well. There were Nubian gladiators.
Of course.
There were female gladiators. You're absolutely right about all that. So everything fits in this show in a neat little package. And I'm really enjoying it. I was wondering if you're watching this one of those shows you're watching, because there's a few shows I didn't know existed until you started doing content on them, like From.
Mm-hmm.
Had no idea about that show until you started doing content, and I watched it. Couldn't stop watching it. Couldn't stop once I started. It's just way too interesting. And this is another one too.
Well,
it's way too interesting now.
I'm glad I was able to put you on to a couple of brother. I really do appreciate you supporting the channel the way you do.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to continue to support it.
That is what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to let you go, Tony. I want to hear rest of what you have to say about the show.
I appreciate the call. Call back anytime, brother.
One more thing.
Yep.
I want to hear your opinion on the thing he's got going with that senator, because I know his wife has looked down on him from the beginning, but her husband, the senator, what are your thoughts on how Ashur's what angle is Ashur playing with him?
Well, I think he's playing both sides because he is afraid of Caesar, right? So he needs some protection from Caesar. And the only one who actually has the ability to protect him from Caesar would be this senator. Now, how much ability this senator has is probably not a lot, but more than most, right? And if he is his ally, Caesar just can't go in there and murk him in front of everybody. It'd have to be a little bit more craftier about the whole situation, right? And they got this whole big battle with Pompey and everything else. Now, we know that the way the history goes and everything else, you know, that one dude's got to die first, and then after that, Pompey and Caesar go to war, and then Caesar, you know, first they make the triumphant, then he dies, and then Caesar and Pompey go to war. Caesar wins, yada yada. That's later on in life when they're older men and stuff, but that's the way it has to go down eventually. So he just needs a little bit more protection from this whole situation. So I think he's using it more for that.
Gotcha. All right, man, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to hear that part about it and let you know I really enjoy your content. Keep it coming. And thanks for putting me on to the shows that you put me on, man. I mean,
no doubt. I'm more
you pick some bangers.
I try, man. I try. But definitely call back anytime you want.
All right, thanks.
That was the great Mandrell calling in, and you can call in too if you want. It's 518-290-0848, 518-290-0848 is what it is. I never knew they were female gladiators. Yes, gladiatrix is what they were called. There were female gladiators out there. So this is basically just showing, they're saying that Ashur is the reason why this becomes popular, because we see exactly what it has done, right, to his woman that he's trying to bag up, you know, the senator's daughter. We see how it's changed her life, right? Made her more of a feminist, made her see herself as more than just someone to be sold off, sit back, have kids, and have beautiful dresses and all that. Just the inspiration of seeing this woman in combat, do this versus men and succeeding, is giving her that. So when you have situations like that, she's not going to be the only one who feels that way. And just like any other sport, like you can go through basketball, football, any sport, once you find something that works, or a novelty act that works, everybody does it. They figure it out, right? If you get a Steph Curry and he's hitting threes all over the place and he's changing the game, every other team is trying to find the next Steph Curry, someone who can shoot threes so they can change the game because it excites the fans, right? It's no different. In NFL, when they find a defense that works or offense that works, everyone copies that offense. It's the same thing. That's the same way it goes down and everything else. Jackie C, what do you watch? Are you watching it on the smaller version or are you watching it on the regular large screen version? Because if you're watching on the large screen version, you should be able to see it. But the smaller version, I don't think you can see it. So you have to probably just check. There's two streams out there, same stream, but it's two. It's just in two different formats and everything else. Let's see. It says this takes place between 73 and 71 BC, and the female gladiators didn't start till 40 BC. So I don't think that could be implying that the show is historically would be way. All right, so I hear what you're saying. We want to deal with history and the exact time frame of history and stuff. We can clearly see that at this point they're saying that Ashur is the one that's introducing it. Now, it may not pick up steam again until 40 BC, or something could happen in this situation where at the end of it, they don't allow women to do it anymore because it was something tragic happens. And then they bring them back in 40 BC. They can easily play it on both sides. And I hate the fact that all of this takes place so early on during the age of Caesar, which, I understand why they did that and why they put it there. But man, would I have loved to see them do it later on when the Colosseum was built? But I do understand that everyone's seen people fighting in the Colosseum, and the shows have done that before. But I would have loved to see the Colosseum or a place like that of that magnitude. We're never going to see it. We're never going to get a chance to see it because this happens 100 years before the Colosseum is built, or so 110 years, something like that. But I would have loved to see it. I would love to see it. And maybe he has a spinoff with brand new characters, because the dude said he has 5 seasons in the bank for this show. If he got 5 seasons in the bank right now. But he said he can go up to 10 seasons if need be. It could be 10 seasons and everything if he really wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, maybe he could do something with brand new people and have the Colosseum in there, but that would probably be so expensive to put that in the show and everything else and all that good thing. You know what I mean? What is that? The Colosseum in Rome is up. I think it's the one in Capri. No. The Colosseum in Rome doesn't come up, and someone's putting here 200 years from now. Yeah, the Colosseum in Rome isn't built way after Caesar is dead. It's, you guys said, I said 110, someone in chat said 200 years. It's way after that when the Colosseum goes up. So there is no way that we can actually see that at all. They can have big arenas, but nothing like the Colosseum and everything else like that. They're not going to have nothing that big, but they'll probably have a bigger one. You know what I mean? A bigger arena than what we see right now. They may have him do something else, or have him travel somewhere or something like that. I would hope they do something like that. But back to the show. Jackie, thank you. Found the other stream. That is great. I am glad that you have found the other stream. So Chorus is going to find out what happened. Be devastated. You know what I mean? Be devastated when it's all. So no way, only 80 AD is saying now. So I don't know how far that would be. I still think it's like 100 or something. 100. It was built between. All right, so let's get to that. It was built between 82 and 81. Yeah, so that is like 100 years, 100 or so years ahead of time, 110 years or so after. Right, that's what I believe. Right, and I know it's not in this period. I can't give you the exact date. I'm not a historian major and everything else and all that good stuff. I mean, but it ain't in this time period. It ain't gonna be we ain't never gonna see the Colosseum. We ain't never gonna see that. That's just not the way it's gonna go down. All right. So anyway, what was I just talking about? I got confused with the chat and everything else and all that good stuff. All right, what was I talking about? Oh, Chorus. All right, so he is going to find out exactly what goes on when all of this. So yeah, 124 years plus. Yeah, that's what I thought. Around 124 years is when the Colosseum was built. So I was right on. I was there. I was right on it. All right. So what is he going to do once he finds this out? I think that the number one thing, we've seen him gripping the medallion that Chorus that Chorus gave him, Operator, before he died. Obviously, there's one or two ways it plays out. Now you can see easily, you can see the head dude, you can see him wearing it around his neck, or you can see that little dude with the what the hell is his name? Y'all know, the brother Farrax, the leader one, who has the belt, right? He has the belt and he has his trophies on his belt. He could put that as a trophy on his belt. And if he does put that on as a trophy on his belt, then Chorus sees it. This is why because I don't know how it Chorus would hold back from killing them if he's seen it. I don't think that if it's on one of those little dudes and they're holding it, I think Chorus would lose his mind and just kill. I don't think there's anyone at this point in this show. We have not seen anyone who could kick his ass. No one who could kick his ass. You know what I mean? We haven't seen that at all. And if this dude from the brother Farrax has got it on his belt and he sees that on his belt as a trophy, then he's going to just go berserk and go through everybody and chop this little fuck up. I can't see it not going down that way. You know what I mean? How would he? I don't care if Ashur tries to hold him back. There's no holding him back. The rage he's going to have is going to be crazy and stuff like that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Says your breakdowns are the best. I'm thinking you were talking. I was thinking you were talking about From. No, I am not talking about From. We're talking about I will be talking about From very soon. Very soon. With probably next week, we'll start some From live streams, like one From live stream a week. And I already have like 4 videos done for From that are just sitting in the pipeline that are uploaded. I just make them public. I'm just waiting for the show to get a little bit more interest in it. Like when the trailer drops, and I'll start putting those things out there and everything else. I'll start dropping all that good stuff in there and everything. But yeah, so it's hard for me to see him not just losing his mind. You know what I mean? Because I look in the beginning when he was set off on this mission, I thought that in the way the actor was playing it was like he was so nervous, like he was just going through the motions. You know, and then all of a sudden the switch where he actually liked it, and then he fell in love with this guy from jerking him off in front of everybody. And he jerked him off with a dry jerk. There was no lubrication. It was a straight dry jerk. I hate that type of jerk. I don't like that jerk. It's not a good jerk. But that jerk set this dude off and made this dude want to run away with him. You know, so it was that type of situation with him, and he found like he loved him as much as it seems like he did. You know what I mean? It just seems like, you know, no one's going to stop him if this little dude is rocking that necklace on his belt. To me, it would be unbelievable. Like it just seems like he would just go ham and just go and cut through everybody till he reaches them and kills them, and not care about what the consequences of what happens to him or anything else like that. And then it would seem to me once again that if he found out those little dudes do it, and if he had to, he'd go into the arena and want to be the one to take him out. Now I know they have set up Achilles to be the one to take them out, and most likely that's the way it's gonna go down. But I would have to think that he would just go in there and just dismantle these people and just rip their heads right off. And unless somehow they play it like he's too much of a threat, it wouldn't be a fair fight. The crowd wouldn't want to see that, you know, or anything like that. Or they did it that way or something like that, you know. But it's hard for me. I don't think it's good enough revenge for him to watch somebody else take them out and him not to be able to get his hands on them. He's got to get his hands on somebody. That's that type of jerk will rip off. You see, yeah, that's not a good jerk. It's not a good jerk. It's not a good one. It's just not. Let's see. I think Achillea will take out. I think Achillea will take out Tarkin after he kills his pops. Yeah, I think that they are setting that up. Some commenter in there, a great commenter who left a comment on my video. He said that that those two fight in the style of Crixus and Spartacus, which is something that they both do. So we know that Crixus and Spartacus were enemies at the end and had to fight each other at the end. And I think that they're using that whole situation again to make us think of those two people. I thought that was a really good comment that he put up there, and that's the way it's going to go down. And he's going to have to take his father out. All right? I mean, it's just the way it is. He's already jealous that Achilles slept with his dad, and he's already jealous about it and everything else. And I know people think, listen, and this dude's caught feelings with the quickness. That dude caught feelings. He had one night with this. Now, I don't know how many nights he's had with women in that place. He caught one night with this chick, and he's like, "Oh, can I go visit her? Can I visit her? Can I go visit her?" Now, listen, I've slept with a lot of chicks in my life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have. All right. And if I've slept with a chick one time, and then someone told me, "Oh, blah 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 is in the hospital," I'm like, "Damn, I hope she's good." Doesn't mean I'm going to the hospital to see her. I only slept with you one time. Yeah, I would have to really sleep with you a bunch of times and really care about you to go to the hospital to check you out. If I slept with you once and someone just said, "Oh, did you hear about Blanche in the hospital?" I was like, "Damn, really? Damn, that's fucked up. I hope she's all right." But I ain't trying to get up in that piece. I ain't trying to be up in there. This dude trying to get up in there. I think I'll do some good if she see me. She get a coma, motherfucker. What are you talking about? She can't see nobody. Only one is gonna do good as you. What do you want to just look at a nipple one more time? You want to pull down the top and look at a nipple once? Is that what you're going for in this whole situation? And that's why it is. Is that what you're working towards, brother? But she strung him out, boy. Strung him out just like that. You got dead right. Them dudes is thirsty. He is thirsty. She strung that dude out one night, and it was a wrap for him. That dude was like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang when Robin Givens got on top of his ass. His toes is all curled up. He probably rolled over after and started sucking his thumb and shit when he was done with her. Peter Griffin. He said Caesar will probably get jelly that Tarkon was in his girl when he was out of town and forced him to take on Pops to the death. Now, he may, if he found out. But it seems like their relationship is fluid. Now, we know the fluidness that we've seen so far has been with women. And he might get a certain way. Now, I know I heard a lot of people not happy with this portrayal of Caesar because it's so different than the other Caesar. Number one, though it's supposed to be the same character, this is a different timeline, so we could be different. But I think what they're going for, like the other Caesar was more redneckish, gruff, street cat. You know what I mean? He was more built for them streets. And that's the way they had him. You know what I mean? This Caesar is more Jamie Lannister, right? That's what they're going for, a Prince Charming type. He's good with the sword, easy on the eyes. All the ladies like him, but he's dark on the inside. Jamie Lannister. That's who I think they patterned this after. They said, Jamie Lannister, Game of Thrones, we're going to turn Caesar into him. And that's exactly who this Caesar is. And because I'm a big Song of Ice and Fire Game of Thrones fan, I'm with it. I like it. I liked it. I like it. You know what I mean? But that's what they're going for with him. You know what I mean? And everything else. And that's what it goes. What's right? It says, Tony, I have my book manuscript. I want you to read it anytime. Anytime. That's not a problem. You say I like it's kind of like I like Caesar. People just hating on the show. Yeah, listen, I understand that people have, you know, there is a difference between the portrayal of the character from the first season, from the first time we've seen them till now. So I understand that there can't why they would say it, but I don't think everything has to be a one-to-one situation here. You know, and I think that I like the Jamie Lannister style, you know, just he's this evil on the inside, you know, and deceiving that he doesn't look like he's evil, but he's truly a monster. You know what I mean? And everything. And listen, he monstrous. He gave that chick the no Vaseline treatment. And he made this dude watch. Made him watch. And then the girl was like, he was rough with you. Damn right, he was rough. He didn't hold back. He went Cell Black style on that ass. He was the booty warrior in that motherfucker. He went straight Felice Johnson on that chick. He was all about it, everything else. You know, he was not playing. Again, we've seen a scene like that in Game of Thrones with Sansa and Ramsay Bolton, right? And Ramsay did the same thing basically to Sansa. You know what I mean? He did the same thing. So I see the Game of Thrones influence on this show because that's the exact same thing that Ramsay did to Sansa. It's the exact same way that Caesar did to this chick. Now, and they had, you know, Sansa, they made Reek watch. And then this show, they made this dude watch. It's the same thing. And I see how they spin it and how they're using things from elements of other shows and putting it in, interpreting it in their own way. Because I remember in Spartacus, they said in the original series that when they had that they were going to have the two brothers have a relationship in there. But when they seen the Lannisters in the Game of Thrones that came out before do that, they took that off the table. But the two brothers were supposed to be in a sexual relationship in that show, and that's where they were going. But they said once they seen the Lannisters do it, they didn't want to say they were copying them, so they were scrapped that. But they were going to have that. So I do see that they're influenced by these shows and everything else and all that. Peter Griffin got another question. He says, Teflon, what do you think about Messia, the girl who just got her heart broken by Usher's girl? You think she will flip, or will Hilaria, the one we expected? All right, number one, the chick's name is Messy. All right, we're just gonna call her Messy because she is messy. She's fucking gorgeous, though. Oh my god, what a beautiful woman to look at. Oh, but she is a mess. She's messy. She is messy, and she's dead. Let's just put it like that. She's gonna die. She's gonna die, even though everything she says is right. There's nothing that she says is wrong. This chick is asking her to disobey Caesar's woman. You can't and she's like, why? I can't do that. And she's 100% right. She can't do that. She knows her role. She's a slave. She's a slave. And her just saying, oh, you treating her like she's the rule of this house. She the fuck is. How the fuck I'm supposed to treat her? You go do that to her. Let me see you get your head kicked in. You do it. You do it first. You know what I mean? Like, you want to send someone else out there to do something to get them taken out. You know what I mean? Now, she is messy because she likes Shorty and Shorty didn't return the feelings for it. So she's a little messy or heartbroken and messy over that whole situation. In the end, she don't make it out this season. She gonna die. And she's probably gonna die at the hands of Caesar because this is what Caesar does. And it's going to make Caesar more of a monster. And I think that if he does come back, and I would think that can't be the final showing of him. I mean, we could go to IMDb and see exactly how many episodes the guy is on in IMDb. If someone do it, but there's no way I think that he's not coming back. He has to come back. There's no way he's not going to come back and everything else. You know what I mean? But she is going to die. Ken's like, she's gonna die for saying, oh yes, she is fucking, that actress is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And I heard, you know what I heard too? That the Cornelia is, I guess, the showrunner's wife. Did y'all hear that too? I know I heard that the showrunner, the guy who runs this show, obviously that would be the showrunner, is Cornelia is his wife in real life. She is gorgeous too. See that these dudes, you're better men than me. I don't know. Like we just talked about it, right? About OnlyFans and going home to the husband and doing all this stuff. You know, I'm built a little different. You know, it's just like James Gunn and his wife, you know, kissing on Peacemaker and all that. Actors is different. You know, you understand it's a job and everything else, but damn, I'm a jealous motherfucker. I'm a jealous motherfucker. I am. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. You know, I can't do it. I can't. I'm not built for that. Be a better man than me. I ain't. I don't know. It's all fake in there. I just can't do it. You can't look at my shorty like that. Can't do it. Like if my shorty was in that acting and I had the means to take care of her in the same way she was as that, I'd be like, shorty, you're gonna have to choose. This life got to end for you. That's it. I mean, look, Denzel Washington never did a scene in his whole career with his shirt off because his wife didn't want him to. So if you ever look at any Denzel Washington movie, you never see him with a woman with his shirt off. He always has like an undershirt on or something like that because his wife didn't want him to do it, so he didn't do it. You know, I'd be on some shit like that probably. That's probably shit I'd be on. Like, sure, you can do this shit, but you know, you can't be taking on your shirt and all this. You can't be doing that. You know what I mean? you can't be running that shit on me. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. I get a little jealous. That's just the way I get down, man. Anyway, but yeah. So yeah, I think Messi's out of here. I don't think she makes it to the end. I think that Caesar will probably take her out, and because somehow she's gonna trust them and think that they're gonna do better by her. And in the end, again, we've talked about Caesar being Jaime Lannister. Jaime Lannister was a very evil person. All right. In the books, and they showed him he's getting redemption, yada yada. There's no redemption for this dude. But we've seen what happened with Littlefinger with Labraz in the show, who was a prostitute for Littlefinger, and then Littlefinger found out that she was betraying her, and then he gave her to Joffrey, and then Joffrey shot her up and killed her with the bow. I feel it'll be a situation like that will happen, whether it's Ashur and Caesar is the hand that she dies. That Ashur will find out something, offer her up to Caesar and them, and she'll think that she's going to have a better life going with them, and then somehow they wind up murdering her, and that's how she gets got. That's the way it seems like it's probably going to go down for her. That's what I would think it would be, and everything else and all that. I was going to say the Book of Eli, Denzel had his shirt off. Yeah, shirt off, not with a woman though. He didn't have his shirt off with no woman in no scene. And you go look at it. He takes his shirt off, but when he's in the sex scene with a woman, he always has his shirt on. That's just the way it is his whole career, because his wife told him that's what he has to do, and that's just what it is. That's what. So, why are we doing this? Doing what, Jesse? I don't understand what you're talking about, Jesse. Why are we doing this? Dude, what are we doing, Jesse? We're streaming? Why are we streaming? Because we're talking about a show that we enjoy. And that is what's going on. We got someone rocking with us all the way from Mexico coming in here. My man Pascal is like, greetings from Mexico. Don't invade us. Don't invade us, please. You good, baby? You don't gotta worry about that. We good. No politics on here. We ain't doing politics stuff, brother. But no, you ain't gotta worry about that, man. I mean, and hey, listen, I ain't call those shots. I ain't call those shots. So should I watch Spartacus? I don't think you need to watch Spartacus to enjoy this show. I think that the beginning, it sets it up. It lets you know everything that happened before the show and how the show was starting. And there's all bunch of new characters in the show that weren't in the original because everyone in the original got murked anyway. So I don't think you need to watch Spartacus to watch. I think Spartacus, if you go back and watch it when the season's over, you really wouldn't even have to watch the first season, just really the third season of it, and you would get it, and you would get the gist of everything and where it ended up. But all that stuff really doesn't matter too much. So I would say you wouldn't even have to watch it. You could just go and just watch this show straight up, and you'll pick it up right off the bat and everything. These are all new people and everything else, and that's so. It is streaming on Stars, the Stars Network, and I got the Stars Network. It was like, I think it was like 99 cents when I got it for the year, like a 99 cent a month for the year. So I got like the whole year for $12. So that's where I got it. I was like, $12 for a year? Sold. I was like, you don't got to speak twice to me. I'll give you $12 for a whole year streaming. Fuck yeah. You know what I mean? So that is what that's why I picked up. It says Teflon. Do you think this? Do you think in this timeline they are hinting Spartacus lived? I can't remember the line, but I thought if I heard something like his body. No. They can't do that. That is not the way. Yeah, listen, if you got a super box, you can watch it all in the super box. But no. And I do have a soup box, but I still pay for it anyway. But I do have a soup box. But I will say that no, it's impossible for them to do that. If they did that, it would ruin the show. This show is built that Ashur killed Spartacus, and that is what gave him the favor that he has right now. If they changed that, and all of a sudden Spartacus came back to life, it would ruin the whole premise of the show, and the believability factor for everything would be thrown out the window. He's gone. Gallagher and all of them are gone. We've seen their bodies on the crosses. They're gone. They're done. Every one of them is dead. They can't do that. That would be one of the worst mistakes this show could ever make if it did something like that. You know what I mean? So hopefully they don't do anything like that, and I don't think that they will do anything like that. It would just be crazy. That would just be crazy. Do you think? Thank you, Ken, for the question. Said, do you think that Achilles will fight a female gladiator? Not this season, but yes. They would definitely have her fight a gladiatrix. Because again, once people realize that this is good business and they make money, they're gonna find someone else. No, listen. Let's talk about this for a second. We've seen other people, right, in this whole situation get caught and on some type of crime and get condemned to the arena. It's quite possible that a woman gets condemned to the arena, and that's not a gladiatrix, it's a woman, and she has to kill that woman. But I do believe that by season 2, if we do have a season 2, hopefully we do, the other people will come up with a female gladiator for her to fight, and there will be a dueling female gladiator fight. There's no way around that. That they're going to do it. They definitely will have that because it will become such an attraction that they're going to have to capitalize on this money, and they're going to say, "We got to find ourselves one. We got to find ourselves one," and they're going to go out there and search for one, and they're going to find somebody. And I hope they bring in like a big bitch, like a CrossFit chick or a bodybuilder, some she-hulkish woman in there to fight her. Like they got to bring in someone. Like you can't have these Roman women in there. It's got to be someone with some sizzle. You know what I mean? In there fighting her with that. It's got to be someone in there. You know what I'm saying? Unless if it's gonna be a skinny chick, then it's got to be someone with some martial arts type skills that could flip around and do all these spins and shit and all that. I need to see something like that. Even though she was doing that shit right up the wall herself and coming down. You know what I mean? And all that good stuff. You know what I mean? And all that. As he said, I agree. I agree, Tony. Some big, sexy Russian ass woman. Oh, yes. Yes. Give me that. Give me that. Give me that. I'd take that all day. You know what I mean? Oh, Bianca Belair or Jade Cargill. Yes, bring them both. Jake, bring them both of them. That would work. Any one of those chicks would do it. I'd take Bianca Belair over Jade Cargill in real life. I like Jade Cargill. She's a sexy woman, but she got no hips. You know what I mean? Like she's like, if you ever see like Gina from Martin, Gina had a fat ass in Martin, but if you look, she had no hips. Like if you looked at her straight away, you couldn't tell she had a fat ass until she turned to the side because she got no hips sticking out. Jade Cargill is built the same exact way. She's got no hips. If you look at Jade, her hips are just straight down. She got no bubble to the side at all. She got no hips at all. But the ass is fat in the back, you know, but she got no hips. She got no hips, goddammit. You know what I mean? With Bianca Belair's got those, she got those. I like those hips. I do. It looks good. It looks good in the dress, those hips when they come out like that. But it's the truth. Yeah, I study this shit, man. I'm studying this shit, man. I got a lot of time on my hands, goddammit. Too much time. But yeah, I think they do. They have to have that situation go down there with it. Like, listen, I look forward to seeing what goes on with Ashur and this role and his. I can't see him actually working out in the end. With the senator's daughter, I don't see it working out. I don't know how, because I can't see that, and I really don't want them. Let me answer this question here. How about Grace Jones? Grace Jones, yes. Take Grace Jones. Bring Grace Jones on. Grace Jones, boomerang. You don't want this pussy. Look at this pussy. You don't want this pussy. Man, we're like for this pussy. What do you think Chorus's role will be now? He'll go back to Del Toro, right? He'll go back to Del Toro, and he's a free man, you know. But he'll go back to it and everything else, and run it. I can't see him doing anything else but that. And then they're gonna have to have a battle because they named a champion. This chick is gonna come out of the coma as she did. She's gonna think that she's the champion, and they've already named a new champion, so she's gonna have to fight for it. We've seen the same thing happen. Like, this is the same. They did these beats already. They did it with Crixus when he got hurt after fighting the Orcales, and Spartacus became the champion. And then Crixus came out, and he was too soon. And they told him, and the chip told him it's too soon to come back and fight. But he tried to come back and fight, and Spartacus whooped his ass. Beat his ass, right? Beat his ass. And I'd see the same thing happening in the house. She's going to get her ass beat again. Because she's going to try to come back and be the champion, and this dude is just going to whoop her ass because she's still hurt. And that's the way it's going to roll. But again, his arc is already set. It's him versus father. That arc is set. It's done. You know, they've done it already. They've done it already with Spartacus and his best friend and made them fight and made them kill him. You know what I mean? Just for sport. It could be a situation like that where it's not even in the arena, where it's just for sport. And somehow it could be Caesar or Caesar's woman make him do it. Make the son kill his father, or about to make the father kill the son, and then the father just kills himself instead in front of him just to do it. I think it would be more heartbreaking if they did it that way. other than putting them both in the arena fighting each other. You know, they can just go out there because we already seen them out there like training in front of the Romans and pretending to fight. But then this has to be one person in there who is evil to say do it for real and make him have to kill him. And it could be a situation going down like that when it's all said and done. Yeah, Q's about to get her ass whooped next episode. Yeah, she's gonna get ass kicked. Like I said, we can see the beats. They're following. I wouldn't say the exact same beats of the first show, but they are inspired by that. And I think that they're doing a better job, again, in my opinion, of not rushing her like they did with Spartacus. But a lot of the beats are the same. Like they're taking a lot of these beats and they're going the same route. And why not? It was a success. Listen, Spartacus season 1, I wouldn't say it's one of the greatest shows on television. It's not The Wire. It's not Rome. It's not Game of Thrones. But as was pure entertainment, it's one of the most entertaining shows of all time. Of all time in the history of television, Spartacus season 1 is one of the most entertaining shows of all time. Period. It ain't never gonna win an award. It's never gonna get nominated. It's not that type of show. But just for get some popcorn, put it on, and watch a show. That fucking show is amazing. It's a fucking amazing. So it would be smart for them to do that and follow those beats from that show, and then just expand on them. Realize what you did wrong, expand on it, and build the world out. And if this guy's got 5 seasons, he said, 5 seasons already in his belt. You can't kill everybody off, right? So you got to have some of these characters continue. Chorus is going to be one of them. You know, is going to be there for a while. You know, the senator will be there. You don't have to have Caesar and Cornelia. You don't have to have them there. But you know, you can have some of them there and everything else. You know, listen, these nonfiction. Now this is nonfiction, and you maybe you got the no Rome. I'm talking Rome. Sure, I've been straight. Oh, not Rome, Troy. Oh, Troy. No. Rome. Let me tell you something about Rome. Rome is the top. It's so hard to rate it because it's 2 seasons, and the second season was so compressed into like 3 seasons into one because it got canceled. But if you just say one show for 1 season, it's the greatest show that was ever made. There's no one season, that first season of Rome, there's not a first season of any show ever made in the history of television that is as good as that first season of Rome. That first season, like I said, I have to judge the whole series because it's only 2. But we just take that first season because it got canceled, so they had to compress everything. So you didn't really get a good grasp of what season 2, how it was supposed to end, and all that. If you take that first season of Rome, there's nothing better that was ever on television than that first fucking season of Rome. That is just a masterpiece. It is a masterpiece, a masterclass. Everything about it, the actors, the story, the setting, the sets, the lighting, everything about it. All these shows, whether it's Spartacus, Game of Thrones, even the Gladiator movie, there's nothing that comes if Rome doesn't happen. You get none of this shit. Rome is just, that 1 season is the greatest season of television for 1 season ever made. Let me grab another drink. I'll drink another one with you, and then I'll get out of here. But just give me 1 second. Take a second. Let me grab a drink. All right, I'm back. Ooh, breaking shit. What the fuck did I step on? All right, back. Thug Mug is in here. Sorry about that and all that good stuff. Someone else saying, your Rome is responsible for the evolution of TV, and TV show can be put on Impact Entertaining as epic as any 100%. George R. R. Martin, when they asked him to do Game of Thrones, they went to him and they told him, they said, we're doing it on HBO. And he said, oh, HBO did Rome. They can do my show. Because he's seen Rome and seen what they were able to do with that. That's what gave him the belief that they could pull off his show. He wouldn't have done it if it wasn't on HBO. He wouldn't have done it. If you've never seen it, anyone's never seen it. It's the greatest portrayal of Julius Caesar, greatest portrayal of Mark Antony, greatest portrayal of Cleopatra ever in any movie or anything. There's no one who's ever done it better. Never done it better. I don't like this long version of the stream. What do you mean it's long? Streams are always long. Nonfiction. What are you talking about? I understand. We always do long streams. It's usually at 2-3 hours. It's kind of short. I don't understand it. I don't get that. But yeah, it is what it was. The only death I wasn't expecting was the girls out buying the silks. With the girls out buying. Yeah, that when she got her wig split, I didn't see that shit coming at all. I did. She was talking her shit and everything else. I did not see that death coming. 100%. You know, oh, the screen is set up like no. All right, so nonfiction. There's two streams. There's one that's set up in that in that form that you're watching, but if you look, there's another one that's regular. So if you go look at the regular one, go find it. You go out and come back in, you'll find it. You'll see it. There's two of them. And it's just formatted two different ways. It's just the way StreamYard does it. It's just the way YouTube does it. I'm not feeling it, but this is what they do. This is what they force us to do. So I have no choice but to do it this way. So, but yeah, you can go find the regular one with the chat and everything else. Just go out and you'll see it. You know, if you go on my page, it'll probably be two streams of the same things running, and you'll find the regular one. I like the regular one too, but you know, you got to change with times. You got to change with times, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? That's just the way we got. That's the way we got to handle it. There you go. All right, there we go. Now you can see the Don in his whole athletic build that I've been working on. Been working on it. I've been working on it. I'm trying to get there, people. I'm trying. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to. My daughter graduates. My daughter graduates from college in May and stuff. So I go down to Florida to go to her graduation. She graduated with a bachelor and two associate degrees, and she's on her way to law school now. So I gotta go out there. I gotta represent. I'm in Florida. I gotta, Don's gotta go represent and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And everything else. Let's see. Augustus. There has never been another depiction of Augustus as real person of Octavian, the boy to Caesar and the emperor, and the oddness of him, the way bored him, the way the battle bored him, but he had the grip. Yeah, I agree too. And another thing that they did in Rome that was very well was they showed that Caesar had seizures. All right. They showed that in Rome. They did that. They showed that Caesar had seizures, right? Are they going to do that in this show? Is Caesar going to have a seizure? And if he does have a seizure, who's going to catch him? Is it going to be that's how he gets the upper hand? Is that how our boy gets the upper hand? Does he witness this and save him and have that moment with him and everything else and have that over his head? You know what I mean? So we'll see if they actually go that route with it. And I would think that they should, because if they have Ashur find him in that state or help him so no one else knows, it goes one or two ways. It makes Caesar his friend, because now he knows that he has that and he's watched out for him, or it makes Caesar say, I can't trust this guy because he knows my affliction. Because in the show Rome, they said that if people found out about that the masses would think that he was cursed by Jupiter, and he would lose all popularity just from that having that. So he can't be seen at all. So it would be the same thing. If Ashur was the one to find him, Ashur would then become friends because, hey, I got this over you, or you protected me, so I got your back now, or you become a threat that you know, and now I have to take you out. So it could play either way. But I wonder if they're actually going to go that route with him. The only show I've ever seen go through that is Rome. Rome's the only one who depicted that at all. $100%. Yeah, he would have it. He would definitely have some blackmail with it, but it comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. You know what I mean? He said, "Why Jupiter?" I don't know. I don't know. I'm not big on the Roman guy. I think Jupiter's a god of war or something. Or so. I have no idea. I don't know. I am a novice as everyone else who has watched videos on YouTube and everything, and has discovered these things and all that good stuff. Nothing more, nothing less. And I say this to y'all, and I brought up my daughter and everything and how she got. But I remember I played for y'all when she got accepted into college. I put the video up here for you because when the college called her and accepted her, I put that video up, and so long ago, you know what I mean? And she has come such a far way. I'm so proud of her. And so that's why I share this, that she has graduated again with a bachelor's and 2 associate's degrees, and she's going on her way to law school and all that. And I'm just proud of her and everything. In case she happens to be watching, which I don't think she ever will. But I'm all very proud. And I tell people, and my other daughter, has a master's degree and all that, and is living a great life and everything, So I always tell people, like, if you ever want to judge the Don Tony Teflon, just judge me by the kids I raised and how where they're at in their life. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it goes. So, and everything else. My phone call will go to Teflon's daughter. Oh, yeah, listen. You listen, if you get in trouble, she's gonna be an immigration lawyer. So because she's all about that stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah, she's about wants to help. So she's not going to be she just wants to be a straight immigration lawyer. That's what she's trying to be. That's all. She just wants to help people. That's where her heart's at and everything else. And like associate's degree is like, she has associate's degree, I think, in like history. Like one is in like Muslim history and the other is in Jewish history. Like, so she has 2 associate's degree in like Jewish history and Muslim history. I know what that is. And I forgot what a bachelor's is. She told me and all that good stuff. But yeah, so she's a very smart. It's hard for me now. I've considered myself a pretty smart person, but when you talk about things of history, dealing with anything like that and those subjects, it's hard. You can't really debate her. She has her facts. She has her history. She knows everything. Her memory, oh my God. Ever since she was a baby, her memory was amazing. She has a photographic memory. She can remember everything. And she brings stuff up like she's talks real fast, like she's Ben Shapiro, but she brings it up and boom, 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 boom. All right, back to this stuff. I'm gonna talk about my daughter and all that stuff. Though I'm very proud of her. We'll go back to this stuff that we're talking about. Spartacus, the House of Ashur. What would y'all like to see in this season? Like, what do you think needs to happen before this season ends? Again, if you want to call me up, it's 518-290-0848. I can put that up. I know people never really call the first time. People get nervous and stuff when you do it. But again, if you do want to call up, it's 518-290-0848 is that number for you to call and everything else. So yeah, what would you want to see in this season before this season ends? Like, what is it that you want to see? Like me, I have to see a couple of things. Now, we know the obvious. The brother Ferox die, right? That's the most shocking thing for me would be if somehow they survive this season. Like, I cannot see in any way of them making it out. But if they really wanted to shock me, if they really wanted to do something out of this world, they make them live and make it go to next season. It's a storyline. I don't know. I think what they did with them, I think is masterful, because it seemed like when it was introduced that it was going to be something that was dealt with within an episode, maybe two, the longest. And they have had the ability to stretch this thing out with them for the whole season. And I would never thought that it would be stretched out this long. Like, no way anyone could have thought, who watched the show and said they ain't dead yet. Like, we all believed they were going to be dead way before this whole situation, right? And they still are here and they're still doing their thing. And listen, the shadows on the wall was amazing. I ain't gonna lie about that. That was amazing. When they had him in there and killing this dude, Operator, and they put their shadows on the wall with the lightning, and you seen how big the shadows were, and you know how small they are. That's a fucking amazing cinematic scene. That scene is shot. That is beautiful that they thought about that and doing that. And then when he puts him down on the floor, and he's like, everything looks bigger when you're down here. When you're down on the floor, right? Everything is, you look a little bigger when you're down. They look huge to you, right? When you're laying on your back and these little bastards is over you, they look pretty big fucking to you, right? But they will die. So we know that they're going to die. And that there's no way around it. The senator's wife, I think she has to live through this season. You know what I mean? I think she's like Glover's woman. I think she's like that. This is an older version of her. Beautiful woman too. And they listen, whoever's casting this picking the best looking women that come through the door, because all these women is gorgeous, right? Beautiful woman this lady is. And she can't, I don't think she goes out. I think she's in it for the long haul. But one thing I will say that is a little bit different than the actual series of Spartacus is that it seemed like when they were sleeping with these gladiators, it was like an undercover thing. They had the golden mask on. It was like a once in a once thing. You know, this chick wanted to sleep with Crixus so bad, but and then they switched it and it was Spartacus and she thought it was Crixus. How she can't tell Crixus from Spartacus, two different skin tones, two different body types. I don't know. Didn't seem that dark. But, you know, these motherfuckers is blatantly open about it. Like, there's no hiding it. Like, in Spartacus, it was like a hidden thing. You put the mask on, you do this, no one knows about it. This shit is everybody fucking. They fucking everybody. And they are all about it. On the regular, you know what I mean? Like it's nothing. And that to me is a little bit weird. You know, that takes me back a little bit and everything else and all that. How is he going to get with the daughter? The mom's not going to go for that. No. The mom is not going to go for that 100%. She's not going to have it. But the daughter is grown. In the end, I don't think the daughter's long for this earth. I think she's going to get taken out. I think people with pure hearts as hers don't make it in shows like this. So I think he will slay it. He will definitely hit it before it's all said and done. And he eventually will get to the point where he thinks that's what it's going to be. But then somehow she'll get taken out. she will get poisoned. Probably, I think she's probably a poisoning victim. She'll get poisoned and everything else. You ain't doing no. I am doing phone calls. People just ain't calling. I am. You can call up right now. 518-290-0848. People just ain't calling, man. The phone line is open. People just ain't calling. You got one call tonight. You know what I mean? And usually when I do these streams for the first time, like when it's a new show like this show, you usually don't get a lot of calls right off the bat and everything else. But we do have the phone lines open. 518-290-0848. Somebody will put it in the chat for you if you have not got it. Jackie C, I'm sure will put it in the chat for you if you want. So yeah, people can call in if you wish to call in. I would definitely only be on here a little bit longer. Again, it's on the screen right there. 518-290-0848. People be scared. The only people really call is like my from family, the familia. The phone ring off the hook. Then it's off the hook. But I'm gonna get one of these celebrities on this show, and when I do get one of these celebrities for someone from the show, then I'll give you. You can call in and speak to them and ask them a question. But you can't say nothing crazy, man. You can't say nothing stupid. I don't want to have to go to the screen because I trust y'all. You know what I mean? I trust y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I trust you. So you just can't say nothing crazy. That you know what I mean? You gotta just be you gotta just keep it in there and everything else. Jesse, who you calling Goofy? You calling me Goofy? Huh? Jesse? A lot of words describe the Don, but Goofy is not one of them. You can say silly. You can say silly. Silly is fine. Goofy is not one of them. I'll go with that. They're filming Mobland. Mobland, amazing show. And we know Ray Seahorn is up for Best Actress, but she's going up against the Dame in Mobland. And I'm telling you that I love Ray Seahorn, and I love her everything that she's done. And she got robbed when she was in Better Call Saul. Should at least got one of them. But going up against the Dame, I don't know if anyone's ever played a better role on television than she played as that character. She was amazing. She was 100% amazing in there. So I don't know. I got to go with Dame in this one. The Dame's probably gonna pull it off and stuff because that character in Mobland, she plays shit. It's just shit. She's amazing. She's amazing. You gotta give it to the Dame and all that. All right, yeah. So back to what I was talking about a little bit earlier. That what I need to see before this season ends. Obviously, we know the brothers Ferris is going to die. That's going to happen. We have to see something with Cornelia. I just can't see Cornelia being there for the season and nothing going on. I think we worked that out, that we can see her get shipped off to Operator's place. I think that is a possibility. We talked about that earlier. I think that is a possibility of that going down there, and that's the way it's going to be. I think that can definitely happen. That seems right. I mean, I don't know what else loose ties that they have to get to, or storylines that they have. I mean, the other storyline is going to be the champion of the Ludus, and we all know that she may not be champion when it's all said and done, but she will be the pseudo champion when it's all said and done. The father and son battle, if they do that this year, they could push it back and eventually get to it, but they may run it this year. It may go run its course this year, and they go into next season, one of them not being there. What other storylines are there? I don't see the Pompeii thing going off, being done this season. I think that whole Pompeii storyline will continue until next season. I think they will keep going on with that. I don't think that is going to go away. He said 10 episodes, so they still got time to add a couple more houses. They do. They definitely do. They can definitely bring somebody in that we haven't seen yet. But they have to bring in some. They're going to have to, right? You're going to have another Ludus open. You can't just have the ones that they have. They're going to have somebody else start one to have more competition. 5 seasons. You're going 5 seasons. Guys got planned for 5 seasons. And you got to have more Luduses than what we have seen. You got to have somebody come in there. I don't care if you bring in someone from a foreign country, but you have to have something else go on there without a shadow of a doubt. We need more in there. And we got to see these gladiators actually become good. Because we know that they're decent, but, compared to the other gladiators that we've seen, they suck. Right? So we got to see them actually become good and actually become, worthy, because they have showed the statues of what was left of would have been the statues of the greats that were there. No one there right now is in the mold to become a statue. So we have to see someone get to that point, and it just can't be Achilles. It has to be someone else step up, and you got to show them or take that licks and everything to get to that spot and all that good stuff. So I think that is what's going to go down. That's what we're going to see when it's all said and done. And I can't wait for it. And I'm glad that y'all are into this show and like I am into the show. And I appreciate all the support on the videos that I am getting for it and everything else. And I truly appreciate it 100%. It is hard. Every shot, no matter whatever, how many subscribers I got, anytime I start a new show, it's like you're starting with a brand new channel because you're not known for that and everything else. And you just have to start right from the beginning. And that's just what it is. Until you reach about, I would say, 300 or so, 100 subscribers, that's the way it is and all that good stuff. Do you want to see a Knicks win a championship? You goddamn right I do. Goddamn right. And we got a good chance this year. OKC will be hard to beat, but if we can get there, I think we could pull it off. And OKC may not be able to get past San Antonio. They ain't beat them yet all year, and we've beaten San Antonio. So it's all about matchups. And if we get the right matchup, I think we can pull it off. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for hanging out with me. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'll be back next week, same time, another stream, rocking it up. And I may have another, I'll do the trailer breakdown video. I'll drop that in like a day or so and everything else. So can't wait. If you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across. I'm not worried about the Celtics, Phil. You can forget it. Spread this across the realm and subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.